Alright, we are going to get started. Farhan, if Farhan arrives, you can jump in anytime. We are going to begin the presidential debate without him for now. Welcome everyone. Hello. Yay, debate. Woo! Thank you all so much for coming and being part of this event today. My name is Hannah Theodore. I am the editor of the FSU Student newspaper in Terrebonne. You might recognize my face from the TV screens. I'm going to be moderating the debate today. The candidates are aware of the structure, but this will be the first time we're hearing any of the questions. This is also very exciting because most of the questions that you're going to be hearing today were submitted by students. So give it up for yourselves and all the students who submitted questions because we'd love to see that engagement, so thank you very much. And let's keep it going for our presidential candidates. They're probably a little nervous, so give them a round of applause. So as I mentioned, the candidates do know what to expect of the structure here, but I'll give you all a rundown as well, just so we're all on the same page. So just due to the sheer number of candidates this year, we're going to be splitting them up into smaller groups for each question. And then there'll be some time at the end for any candidates who maybe didn't get to answer a certain question to speak to that if they would like to. And there'll be a little bit of room for some debate at that time as well. If that sounds confusing, don't worry about it, that's why I'm here. So within each of the breakout groups, one candidate will be asked a question, they'll be given 60 seconds to respond, and then the rest of the candidates in the breakout group will each be given 30 seconds to respond. You don't have to use the full time, but if you start to go over, we will stop you. John is keeping track of time, so keep your eyes on him for sort of 10 seconds, you're getting close to the end. Alright, all the candidates are sitting in numbered seats, and the breakout groups will correspond to their seat numbers. So if you're out there, seat 1 is over on your left with Adam, and seat 7 is Jerry here to my right, okay? Again, if it sounds confusing, don't worry, it'll all make sense when we get started. So, first things first, each candidate has 90 seconds to offer you their opening remarks. We're going to begin down at the end with Adam and sort of work our way down to Jerry, alright? Take it away. Adam, good luck everyone.
Alright, hello everyone. My name is Adam Boyce. I'm a graduate in the business marketing program here at FSU. I'm currently in business administration, taking my postgrad, and I've been involved with the FSU since 2022 through both Fuel eSports and the events ambassador team. I've seen most of you if you were here at events over the summer. It's a pleasure to see all of you again. Key priorities of my campaign is for open communication with the FSU. I'd like to implement different events, including town halls, where students are able to voice their opinions and their concerns with the FSU in an open platform where we can have accountability and solve the issues together with the students. I would also like to expand the event services here on campus, as well as the area campuses around London and St. Thomas. The services at these campuses may feel inadequate or inaccessible compared to what we have at main campus, and I would like to be able to offer an equal accessibility to those campuses as to what we enjoy here on main campus. I would also like to see an expansion of the Fuel eSports program here, as well as the other campuses. Currently, we had over 2,000 students last year that used our service, and it was incredible to be part of that, and I wish to see it expand to other campuses as well. If you're interested in having open communication and truly feeling that your voice is heard, use your voice and vote for voice. Thank you.
Hello everyone, it is my utmost pleasure to grace the platform here today. I am Shade Dennis, and I'm honored to sit before you today as a candidate running for FSU President. I'm here because I believe in the power of leadership that listens, supports, and acts. This college is filled with incredible students, and I want to ensure their voices are heard and their ideas become reality. With experience as the Student Unit Board Chair and current student representative on Fanshawe's College Board of Governors, I've seen the impact of collaboration that ties communities together, dedication that enhances advocacy, and innovation that drives success. And we're in this room that shows what success is about. However, too many students struggle with food insecurity, finding jobs, and balancing their mental health. These are real issues and they deserve real actions. My campaign, The Faces of Fanshawe and the Future for You, is about solution and not empty promises. This isn't my vision, but our vision together. We can create a campus where everyone is able to access food, opportunities to grow, and mental well-being to thrive. And just from you listening to me, I hope I have earned your support by voting today for the next FSU President. Thank you. One.
President position. And I've been part of FSU community for 2 years, and I feel confident knowing and understanding the needs and necessities of students over here. Apart from it, I'm an easy to talk to person, which is one of the most important aspects of this platform. So my basic platform is pretty simple. It's called advocating for students. So basically, I'll be advocating for you guys, becoming your voice. If you have any confusions or any concerns about your needs, I'll be the one you would come to, and helping you to get over it. I'll be comfortable talking to you and about the necessities, and I'll be confident about hearing and helping out. Thank you.
Greetings everyone, and hello to the amazing people on Instagram. My name is Brando Mapagal, your FSU presidential candidate, and I'm thrilled to be here in this exciting debate. I started my journey in PATSOC in September 2023, excelling in the entire community design program. Throughout my college experience, I've been actively involved in student activities, such as serving as a Red Squad volunteer, class representative, setting up staff, club officer, international digital ambassador, Fans of Friends pod leader, event staff, and many more. I'm deeply passionate about serving the student community and wholeheartedly devoted to helping others. I feel elated when I bring positive things to someone's life, whether it's brightening a student's day during an event or being assisting them in a course challenge. With all this, I've completed over 300 hours of volunteering, supporting more than 10,000 students across all aspects of the college and contributing to 75 events across the 5 London campuses. My exceptional service earned me becoming volunteer of the month, immersing myself in FSU services, honing professional skills, gaining valuable student insight, and demonstrating my unwavering dedication to the student community. I strive to lead the FSU focusing on student experience, community, advocacy, and communication. My vision prioritizes student well-being, affordability, campus consistency, enhanced support services, and more dynamic events. Together, let's empower our diverse campus community, foster our welcoming student union, and drive impactful change. Vote for me to amplify student voices, elevate your college journey, and bring in the energy.
And I'm running for the FSU President position. Many of you might know me as a current board member at the FSU Student Union. So I've learned a lot from this role, and one thing that I found out is that the discussions, the decision making, and the planning, it's definitely a very important role. But real change happens on the ground, where students need action, which is why I felt like running for the president position. I want to go from the decision-making role to the action-taking role. I've spoken to so many of you, and I know the challenges that all the students face: food insecurity, housing struggles, and a lot of more problems that we face in our day-to-day lives. And guess what? That's why my platform is based on real solutions. I want to work on food security, affordable housing, fair fee refunds, student advocacy and support for international students, and campus-based improvements. At the end of the day, I don't want to only discuss about what can be done. I want to make it happen. I'm here to listen, take action, and make sure things actually get done. I've already been doing part of that as a board member at the FSU Student Union. And now, I'm ready to give it up my all as the next FSU President. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Jerry Thomas, and I'm running to be your next FSU President. As finance coordinator and an active advocate for students, I've worked hard to make financial literacy more accessible, empowering clubs, and improve student life on campus. My platform focuses on 3 key areas. 1, enhancing student affordability. 2, creating more inclusive and accessible spaces. 3, strengthening student engagement. From pushing for better financial support to advocating for a dedicated multi-faith room, I believe that every student deserves a campus that supports their needs. Today, I'm here to share my vision and, more importantly, to listen to you all. Let's build a stronger, more inclusive FSU together. Vote for Sherry Thomas.
Thank you, candidates. I just want to, before we get into questions, one more time throw it out there if Farhan Malik is in the house at all. All right, in that case, we're going to get started. Our first question is going to candidates in seats 1, 2, and 3. So that would be Adam Boyce, Shade Diaz, and Harpinder Khan. The question is, if elected president, what would be the first problem or issue you'd prioritize addressing, and how would you go about solving it? And Adam, you're going to get 60 seconds to answer. Shade and Harpinder, you will each get 30 seconds to respond. Take it away.
My initial priority will be to implement the communication plan that I mentioned. I believe for us to really make changes early on in the semester, it's going to be important to be able to receive feedback from students as we make these changes and as we continue to implement new processes with the FSU, especially with the leadership change and the new VP rules. Being able to receive the communication from students as we are working and make changes as we apply is going to be crucial to ensure that we have all students being fairly represented across the board at all campuses. Being able to receive this communication will also benefit us as leaders, making sure that we're properly represented.
Okay. Shade, you have 30 seconds to respond or rebut to that answer.
So the first thing I will do as president is to address the food insecurity on campus. Just last year, over 1 million persons in Globe visited the food bank, and a subset of that is the students. So for me, I'm proposing a plan for food insecurity in 3 options. First is a $75 gift card for students, as well as the second visit would be visiting the sharing shop, and third visit a $25 bursary for students to visit within the FSU. Thank you.
And Harpinder, your response.
So for me, being a fitness and health promotion student, I understand the importance of academic well-being, academic stress, and trying to integrate well-being with it. So my platform would be to advocate for students' well-being, and I would educate students on what FSU is responsible for so that they can know who to go to when they have any concerns.
Okay, our next question is going to candidates sitting in seats 4 through 7. And I'm going to direct the initial question to Bernardo. And a student asked, with a decline in international students, what can the Fanshawe Student Union do to promote and attract more students to our campuses and to continue to support the international students that are enrolled at Fanshawe?
Absolutely. So, as we know, there are quite a few challenges international students face. So it's very important to make sure that the services of FSU College and accessibility resources are more streamlined to make sure that all students have a memorable and fair and equitable support here in FSU College. This includes helping them financially, academically, and of course, via mental health support. Additionally, it's very important as well to maintain, with regards to the IRCC and the immigration policies, to have the highest quality of education and academics with the programs that they are passionate about. And overall, to conclude, making sure that those support resources and services of the FSU College can be reached by all students, domestic or international.
Okay, Trashki, you can speak to Bernardo's point, share a little bit of your thoughts. You have 30 seconds.
Yep, so I would say that with the decline in the international students, one of the key solutions that any student union can do is represent the student concerns at the federal level, which is like we already are involved in associations like NASA. So one of the key points that I want to bring in my campaign is that student advocacy and international student support, like I said.
That's your 10 seconds. You still have 10 seconds.
Oh, so that's what I would work on to help the international students.
So when you see the hand from John, that's your 10-second warning. You still have some time. Okay, Jerry.
Okay. I want to bring in two services which would really focus on international students. One would be the leadership certificates. As we all know, everyone's college to take security license or first aid licenses, and right now everyone's shifting to PSW licenses, even though they are taking some other programs. So I want to subsidize those licenses and certificates so students have opportunity in a subsidized rate. And also I want to bring in child minding services on campus, because I see a lot of student parents on campus struggling with their children to get to classes and finding a daycare service.
All right, thank you, candidates. This next question is going to candidates sitting in odd-numbered seats. So that's Adam, Harpinder, and Jerry in this case. And I'm going to direct the question initially to Harpinder. A student asked how you would encourage students to attend events, but I'd like to open that up a bit more and ask, what sort of events do you envision for your FSU administration? How would you ensure that the events that you look to plan reflect what the students are interested in attending? You have 60 seconds to answer that.
So for the events to be engaging, it's very important to have the thing like the student the events should be planned accordingly, and it should be themed accordingly. Let's say some events have a specific target behind them, while some doesn't. Some are just for fun. So basically, if an event is for, like, let's say if an FSU, if it's a fall fair, I would target on one part of it. But if it's something like educational based, I would target on actually making students know what is going on there and if they're getting the point of that particular event.
Okay. Adam, you have 30 seconds for your thoughts on events.
Events are crucial to campus culture. Anyone at any college their experiences are defined on the events that they've been able to do and the things they've been able to take part in during their time in college. I'd like to bring more events like concerts and a lot more involved things like dances, where it's culturally something we're used to having in high school that maybe people coming here never got to experience, or people from COVID never got to experience. Bringing those students together is what will build the culture.
And Jerry, your response.
First of all, I would like to create focus groups. Right now we have TDI service on campus, but we also need to with their support, we need to create focus groups which will have indigenous students, domestic students, international students, and students with different demographics, and so that we can actually cater to each demographic and targeted events which is happening on campus. Recently we had the Lunar New Year, and then we also have clubs on campus which are cultural and have very diverse demographics. So we will utilize those clubs to host events.
All right. Now we're going to switch it up. Questions are going to be going to the candidates sitting in even-numbered seats, which that's Sade, Bernardo, and Drashti. And I'm going to send this initial question to Sade. How will you improve and support equity, diversity, and inclusion within the FSU and throughout the college overall? And how would you use the resources available to you at the FSU to advocate for EDI? And I just want to specify that the students who submitted questions about this asked specifically about Black students and students belonging to the 2S LGBTQIA+ community. Shadi, you have 60 seconds.
Thank you for the question. So the question is surrounding EDI for the FSU, is it?
Correct.
Okay, so first off, Fanshawe is a diverse place, I'm going to say. And for the FSU, they have been promoting events overall, supporting different individuals and students for their cultures. We have a lot of music events here. And for me, as being an advocate, it's pretty much to tell students about these services as well as events, and just to pretty much be open with them about what is here and to be transparent and just to be able to be relatable with them. My background is Jamaican, and I can pretty much share my experience they can share their experience, and we can spread openness with students, as well as what it is to be diverse and be open with each other, and just be supportive and welcoming, because this is what the FSU is about. Thank you.
Bernardo, your response, you have 30 seconds.
Yep. So one of my main key points, is, of course, is empowering student voices. So recently, I've been going through all the campuses with diverse cultures, and yeah, I would say diversity is very important. Whether you're from the 2S, LGBTQIA+ community, indigenous groups, persons with disabilities, international and domestic students, it's very important to get their input from all student bodies and from diverse religious and cultural backgrounds.
And Drashti, your response.
Okay, so I would say that one of the strengths of the union is that it is heavily involved in events for the students, which is why I would promote, or I would try to form partnerships with the college to have more of the EDI events, because this is something that I saw in one of the events that I was volunteering at, and it was like the cultures are not exactly included so much in it. So that's something that I would try to apply, because we have that strength. We already have something, and that's what I would increase.
All right. This next question is for candidates sitting in seats 3 to 6, and since we're out Farhan, that is just going to be Harpinder, Bernardo, and Drashti. And I'm going to direct the initial question at Harpinder. What will make you different from past presidents of the FSU?
So I'm here since 2 years, and I don't really know much about past presidents, but I would say I would try to be more personally connected to students. Let's say one-on-one sessions, or having frequent meeting, going to every campus occasionally, so that I can stay connected. I can know what their concerns are, what they need in that particular campus, and then I can eventually go break through it. So my main focus would be to administrate and to advocate for students, and try to directly hear them, or try to hear them through platforms like class reps.
Okay, and then we'll go to Bernardo for your response to that.
Yep. So what sets me apart is my two pillars is excellence and community. With record-breaking achievements in the FSU, I always strive for excellence, making sure that all students are heard and all initiatives and projects are molded via student input. So going around all campuses, making sure everyone's heard from diverse backgrounds, as mentioned, is one of the very important things in going forward with the future of the FSU Student Union to create a strong legacy of our campus community.
And Drashti, your response.
Okay, so what will make me different is that I want to be externally involved in the advocacy of international students. The meetings, the one-on-one meetings with students is something which is already being done, so that's something that's going to be continued. So that's not what sets me apart. What sets me apart is that with the current the scenario which is happening with the international students, the IRCC rules and regulation changes, that's what I want to focus upon by advocating their concerns at the federal level.
All right, and now I'm going to ask this next question to candidates sitting in seats 1, 2, and 7, so Adam, Sade, and Jerry. I'm going to direct the initial question to Jerry. How will you ensure that student complaints about faculty, whether they are related to grading, misconduct, or discrimination, are taken seriously and fairly addressed? You have 60 seconds.
So, student concerns regarding advocacy and communication piece. So we already have a VP of communications, which is Gabriel currently working. We have Ombuds office on campus, which is Rose. We regularly sit with them to ensure that student needs and student voices are heard. Right now, as FSU, already being working in the FSU, we are creating a different profile for the advocacy piece, where the VP of student advocacy will solely focus on the advocacy part for students and not be responsible for any other projects. Like now, he's also responsible for classroom projects and various other projects. So he's not able to utilize his time focused towards those students in particular. So now we have created a future program already that the VP of Advocacy will be able to sit, cater to all the students who are facing those issues, faculty or advocacy piece, and ensure those voices are heard.
Adam, your response?
Can you repeat the question again?
Yes. So again, I just want to clarify, these were student-submitted questions. How will you ensure that student complaints about faculty, whether they are related to grading, misconduct, or discrimination, are taken seriously and fairly addressed? So I'll have Adam's response first, and then Shadi.
I was going to ask for a repeat too.
Okay.
To ensure that things are being heard and followed up on, I'd like to ensure that they are personally being followed up on by the VPs of student engagement and the president themselves if needed, making sure that any complaints being addressed with the Office of the Ombuds and faculty are being resolved. If not, students are able to come to us. We can continue to connect them with the proper connections and proper people to ensure that any complaints are properly resolved to their satisfaction.
All right, Shadi.
So for me, how would I address student concerns? I would say first is to listen as to what the question is or the concern, then evaluate it and see how best I can be honest, because as president or as any student, we don't know the answers all the time. Just be honest with students as well as pretty much meet with the various departments or where they're having issues and see how best we can bring it home and pretty much solve the student issues. Thank you.
Questions. Everyone take a breath. Maybe give them a round of applause. They're doing really well so far. So I'm going to repeat that breakout breakdown that we just did. Again, with some fresh questions this time. So we're going back to candidates in seats 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to direct the initial question at Adam. What is your long-term vision for the Fanshawe Student Union, and what specific steps are you planning to take to achieve that?
My long-term vision is, of course, in continuing to ensure that the FSU does represent its motto of students serving students. The FSU can sometimes appear to be more of a business instead of a service, which is what we're supposed to be. We represent you, and we provide services for you. That's what we're here for, and that's what we should strive to achieve. If you are not happy with us, we should be accountable for it, and that we can resolve, again, to your satisfaction. With the communication efforts to receive your feedback and resolve them in an open manner, we can have accountability and ensure that we are listening to you and that your voices are heard. With all of this, we can continue to shape a vision together instead of the vision of just one person or a team that's deciding based on their own decisions. As long as your voices are being included and your voices are being heard, the vision will be worth it for all of us.
Okay, I'm going to send it to Harpinder for your 30 seconds response to Adam's response.
Sorry.
You have 30 seconds to respond. You can respond to what Adam said, or you can answer the question, however you want to use your time.
So my long-term goal would be smooth running of FSU, since it's already doing a pretty good job, I would say. And I would have this change to educate people about what FSU is actually capable of. As we can all see, most people just see FSU as events and fun part, but it is capable of way more than that. So learn to, that would be my long-term goal.
Okay, Shadi, your response.
So my long-term vision, or I would say goal for students overall, is pretty much to strengthen the bond that is already here. Fanshawe is all about unlocking potential. FSU is all about students serving students. So pretty much enforce the services that are here and see how best we can better enhance these services and not pretty much discredit the service that's here, because honestly, both the FSU and Fanshawe College are working very hard to support students. Thank you.
Just before, is Farhan here? Is that, are you signaling that? No, just water. Water, we'd like some water. How kind, look at our president coming through with the water. And they're cold too, wow. Oh, John's like, why not me? Okay, so this next question is going to candidates sitting in seats 4 through 7. And I'm going any changes that you might implement as FSU president, or to put it another way, if you were met with resistance from the student body in the face of your decisions, how would you handle that? You have 60 seconds.
Okay, so the best way to handle any kind of confusion or conflict, I believe, is communication. So that's the very first thing anybody would do, any leader would do that, is to sit down, have a conversation, find out what the problem is, and then try to mitigate the problem in a way that both the parties are not at a loss. So that can be arbitration, that can be mediation. So that's how I'm gonna try and figure out. First of all, that's the first thing we do. Try and figure out what the issue is and understand the point of view of the person who doesn't agree. And just adapt from then on. So that's what I would do.
All right, and Jerry, I'll send it to you. You have 30 seconds. You can respond to Josh's point or share your own thoughts on the question. Repeat the question, for sure. How would you address differing opinions from students regarding any changes you would implement as FSU president? Or to put it another way, if you were met with resistance from the student body in the face of your decisions, how would you handle that?
So I would agree to what Joshua mentioned, that all the skills, being an active listener, being a person students can talk to, because we are a body where students are serving students itself. So yes, I'll create a platform, I'll create an opportunity for the student who wants to address these issues, that he or she or they then are able to come and talk to me or the president and share their concerns. And being a president, I will be an active listener.
Bernard.
Yeah. So listening is significantly important. So listening to what perspective all student bodies have in the parties, and of course finding the best way to ensure that everything is going to benefit the majority of the people, and finding a middle ground on it. And additionally, if not, gathering alternative support and making sure everyone, both parties are left positively and going to solidify some great support system for the community.
All right. This next question is for students sitting in odd-numbered seats, and I'm going to direct the initial question to Harpinder. A student from South Campus submitted this question. They would like to know how you would advocate for the experiences of students at South Campus, and what goals do you have to improve the overall experiences of students there? Sorry, I can't hear you. Oh, repeat the question. Yep. So this question was submitted from a student from South Campus, and they would like to know how you would advocate for the experiences of students at South Campus, and what goals do you have to improve the overall experience of students there?
So South Campus, as we all know, is a small campus, so students there tend to have lots of concerns. They tend to have, usually they be like, we don't get the things we pay for. That's what I got to hear. So for them, I would advocate, I would listen to them first of all. I would go to them and try to have sessions with them if there is people who has concerns, and to solve their problems, I would try to get to some meaningful conversations there, because it's technically, so let's say installing, let's say an extra pool table, there's lots of demand for games, so I believe I can do that. So yeah, we'll see what I can do, and we'll go through there.
Okay, I'm going to throw it to Adam now for a 30-second response.
I've been to South Campus a couple times in the last couple of weeks, both to talk to students and also just to see what the campus is really like as a main campus student. And I will say that it is definitely something that will need to be addressed for South Campus. The access to services is definitely not equal to the main campus, and it should be. I'd like to see an implementation of some new food options for them at that campus, as well as the revitalization of the games room, which is outdated and currently not in a great state of repair.
And Jerry, your response.
As a student coming from South Campus, I've seen a lot of issues students face from South. One is we have a lot of student parent population in South, and and that's why I want to bring in the service of child mining services over there. The next is leadership certificates. A lot of business students or other program students are turning towards PSW or other programs, buying in some licenses to get a job on market. Lastly would be go-ahead tuition fees, because a lot of time last year there were students who faced issues having an increase of fees from their letter of acceptance. So I want to make sure that the fee structure is coherent. And
we're switching over to even numbered seats now, and I'm going to direct this initial question at Sade. So a student asked, how would you encourage students to vote in the election? But I want to expand that a bit and ask, as president, how will you work to engage students overall? And what steps will you take to get students more interested in the FSU and what it does? You have 60 seconds.
So for that question, thank you. So far I've been campaigning on campus. I've realized just even talking about the election, a lot of students, they don't know about it, even though the posters are up. So for me, being elected, I would suggest, instead of putting on a service, it's more like, instead of students for coming to us, as president, I would suggest us going to the students and being in the classroom, promoting the services and what FANCHA has to offer, and work with the different department heads and see how best we can, both FSU, the residents, and FANCHA College here for you, collaborate together to bring the engagement of the student to bring success. Thank you.
Bernardo, your response to that?
Yep, I would say, yeah, it's true that the awareness of FSU is limited. So of course I would like to make stronger promotion on in-person marketing, such as through the Red Squad, Glass Lab clubs, expanding that a lot, making informative campus posters, dedicated newsletter, and strategic in-person marketing for all campuses to make sure that they know our services and all services of the FANCHA Student Union is properly utilized, and same with digitally and in person as well.
Okay, Josh, your response?
Yeah. So one of the ways that I want to improve on is the digital visibility of the union, because for the past year I've been very involved in how the digital involvement works, and I've seen that the union advertises, but it does not really market. So that's something that I wish to improve, and by doing so, reach out to more students and make them aware about what we have here.
All right, thank you. This next question is for candidates in seats 3 through 6. I'm going to direct the initial question at Bernardo. How will you ensure transparency in decision making, and why do you believe it is important for students to be able to hold you accountable as president? You have 60 seconds.
Yep, absolutely. So, of course, I want to put forward feedback stations, events that amplify student voices, and like student voice forums, town halls would be our best way to market that as well. And encouraging open dialogue, discussions, and community events. And additionally, for transparency and accountability, I want to ensure that all of our projects and initiatives are on a timeline, measurable, and additionally providing updates regarding executive minutes and what we have accomplished month by month basis, similar to what's happening right now, but in an expanded format and platform to ensure that every student's voice is heard and all initiatives and projects are successful and always in the most highest quality.
Okay, Harpinder, you have 30 seconds to respond. Read the question again. How will you ensure transparency in decision making, and why do you believe it is important for students to be able to hold you accountable?
So transparency in decision making is pretty important, and I would ensure that by regularly communicating with them about the decisions, about the actions being taken beforehand. So being accountable for it, I would say I will be responsible. I'll be accountable for all the decisions made through FSU.
Okay, Josh, you have 30 seconds as well.
So for the transparency to the students, right?
hold you accountable.
Yep. So for the transparency, I would say that this relates back to the question about having concerns or disagreeing with the decision making. So if the students know why the decision was made, if they know the backstory of it, that's when they trust us. So that's something that I would suggest that it could be done to maintain the transparency that this is why we decided on something, because they understand. And for the accountability, we are a student union. That's the whole reason we are here for. So the accountability, obviously, without any say, lies in us.
All right, believe it or not, we've come to our final question. This is for the candidates sitting in seats 1, 2, and 7. I'm going to direct the initial question at Jerry. So affordability is on the minds of many students, specifically when it comes to affording food. Many of you mentioned food security and affordable food options on campus being your platforms. So my question is, how would you work with other areas of the FSU as well as the college to implement changes to the food options on campus and ensure that you are meeting the needs of students? Jerry, you have 60 seconds.
Right. Thank you for the question. First of all, I'd like to explain or mention that FSU is doing a really good job in partnership with FSU as well as alumni, creating the free breakfast program. We have invested a good amount of money into that program just to address the food insecurity. Coming from my piece, I want to bring in 2 services on campus. One would be, most of you would have been aware about Too Good To Go, an application where students, whatever the leftover foods are there, or any spare food is left, can be given it out to students at a subsidized rate. As well as there's another service called Odd Bunch, or a business called Odd Bunch, which provides very subsidized rate for vegetables and fruits and all the other aspects for students. So I want to bring those 2 organizations on campus, partner with them, and partner with FSU again, to bring those services on campus so students can take benefit of those services at a very subsidized and reasonable price.
Okay, and I will turn to Adam now, your response.
I would like to see more affordable options on campus, of course, including value options, things like the Outback Shack and Oasis, which I believe we used to have, and unfortunately some of them no longer exist. I would also like to see things like flash food and Too Good To Go be even implemented on campus, possibly in partnership with the sharing shop or at nearby grocery stores, specifically with options for students.
And Shai, your response.
So I just want to follow up what Jerry said. I do want to thank the FSU because they've been working tremendously for promoting the sharing shop, and within FANSHA as well, they have a sharing shop box in each department. So for me, to enhance the food insecurity, I would say suggest is to promote to students that it's not totally free. It's a service for students who are in need and is lacking. So for me, it would be the pretty much the 3 meal option that I mentioned: $75 gift card, as well as the sharing shop options, as well as a free day pass, which would be through FSU.
Give it up for your candidates. Thank you so much. So before I go on, can I see potentially just like a show of hands for candidates? Did anyone hear a question that they didn't get to speak to that they have something they would like to add? Just a show of hands. Jerry? Okay, Jerry, which question? Mm-hmm. Okay. So question number 5, different from business. And number 10. Yeah. And that was the one about you get engaged. Okay.
How long? How long?
30 seconds. So this, we're going to try to offer like a little bit of like open debate in this section, just because it seems like Jerry's the only one who had any questions. Or Bernard, did you have as well? Yeah.
I wanted to speak one like some questions.
Yep, we can do that one again as well. Okay. So what we'll do with the sub-campus question is Bernardo can answer, and then we'll open it up to everyone to give them an opportunity to either respond to, and same with Jerry. Jerry can get asked the initial question. Everybody can have the opportunity to jump in. Just show your hand if you have something you'd like to add to the conversation, okay? We're gonna have some fun now. This is the fun part. It's all been fun, right? Okay. My sub-campus question. Where did I place it? I still have notes. There it is. Okay, so we'll start with this question that Jerry initially pointed out, which was, what will make you different from past presidents of the FSU? So we'll start there. Jerry, I'll give you 30 seconds, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so I don't want to make anything different, but I want to work onto the work what the previous presidents have actually initially worked upon. So Ismail was my professor. He was the previous president to Stephen, and then Stephen was the one who hired me into this position as the finance coordinator. And then I'm currently working with Siddharth, which is the current president. So I have all the three presidents. I've been with them, I've worked under them, I know how their systems work, and I want to build onto their platform and work further.
So, sounds like Jerry's main point was that he's going to build off of what previous presidents have done. Does anyone have a different response or a rebuttal to that? Show of hands at all? That's okay. I'm going to pose this question again, which again Jared also pointed out, and I believe, oh no, this one's Bernardo's. So we'll direct this one at you, okay, Bernardo? A student from South Campus submitted a question asking, how would we advocate for the experiences of students at South, and what goals do you have to improve the overall experience? Take it away.
Absolutely. So one of my pillars as well is called campus consistency commitment. So in some campus, there are quite a limited resources and services, and also quite a few concerns. So I serve with my platform equitable access and sustainable high quality facilities, events, entertainment, food, beverage, health options, student spaces, coffee machines, support services across all campuses. So not only South Campus, but I also want to put importance to that, but also like the Z Building, Pembroke Campus, downtown, South, and regional campuses as well.
Josh, I'll hand it to you because I know you're interested as well, and I'll give you 30 seconds as well to answer that one.
Yeah, so for the South Campus, it's true that the games room needs to be revamped, but that's not the main focus that catches my attention. So the thing is, I've noticed that all the dry snacks in the cafeteria area, they're quite expensive. What I thought about was that partnering with the college, trying to get those prices down so that students don't take those snacks because they're expensive. So that's something that I want to work upon, and I also want to bring in vendors from outside so that they can have warm food instead of dry snacks.
Any candidates, did you want to speak to that, Jerry? All right. Sorry, just asking if you want to respond to the South Campus question. Yes. You would? Okay. 30 seconds for Jerry to respond.
Yeah, so I just want to add to that. Recently, LTC has created a new bus platform over there. So now we have a route which is 95, which directs South Campus to main campus connects within 20 minutes. And there's more services which is going to be coming from LTC. Other than that, I want to ensure events which are focused towards the student demographics, because South Campus is mainly heavily populated by international students. And lastly, I want to bring in the menstrual products. There's a lot of times students complain that those menstrual products are the dispensers remain empty a lot of time.
Does anyone else want to jump in about South? It's okay if you had the question earlier. Anything to respond to Jerry, Bernardo, or Josh D? All right, that's okay. And then we have one more question here that Jerry asked for. So the question that the student submitted was how to encourage students to vote in the election. Then we open that up a bit to say how will you engage students to become more interested in the FSU overall. So Jerry, I'll give you 30 seconds for that.
Yeah, so for, overall I want to speak, FSU has really good programs which is class rep, we have clubs on campus, and then we have red squads. Also to partner with residence advisors, which is RAs. I want to create a platform which will be known as FSU app, or maybe a fanshow app, where students can log on to there and can put in anonymous feedbacks for all the events or any services which is provided through FSU.
Would anyone like to make a rebuttal to Jerry's point of how to reach students? No? Okay. One more time. Any other questions anyone wanted to touch on again? Yeah, food insecurity. food security and affordability on campus. Josh, if you have a point to make on that, you have 30 seconds.
I just had one more idea. So the ideas that the other candidates gave about the two boxes, like Jerry said, that's a great idea. But what I was looking more towards was affordability means you're able to get it and at a good quality. So I was thinking more about having fresh markets or partnering with grocers so that they can get discounts for the students and they can get groceries.
Would any candidates like to make a rebuttal to Josh's point?
I support what Rafi mentioned. Not only that we have the shared shop, but also having pretty much utilizing the horticulture department and the vegetation that they're growing. Have a food market on campus where students can come and pretty much interact with students from this program, and they can purchase pretty much vegetables and fresh fruits from the students and the vegetation here that we have on campus.
Floor is still open if anyone wants to speak up to food insecurity at all. Yes, Bernard, go ahead.
Yep. Those are very great ideas as well. I just want to add to it. So a few of my points is organizing fundraisers and donation drives to support the campus, sharing some as well. Collaborating with local food banks is also one of the significant things. Advocating for affordable meal plans and expanding student discount partnerships so students can have more access to discounted food options around the city.
Okay. I'm going to wrap it, I think, because I'll let you guys make your closing remarks at this time. We'll go opposite direction as we did opening remarks. So we'll start with Jerry and work our way down to Adam. You have 1 minute. Yes.
Perfect. Today, we have talked about the issues that shape our lives: affordability, inclusivity, and student engagement. But talk isn't enough. As a finance coordinator, I have already been advocating for financial support and tackling student issues. And I'm ready to take this fight even further. A multi-faith room where every student feels seen, a child-minding service that supports student parents, fair tuition fees that make sense, stronger, more empowered clubs that brings us together. Financial deserves a leader who listens, takes actions, and delivers results. If you believe in a campus that puts students first, I need your support. This card represents every financial student, your struggles, your dreams, your ambitions. I'm not just here to lead, I'm one of you. Let's build this future together. Vote for Cherry Thomas for FSU President. Thank you.
So when I got here, I didn't really have any idea about how this is going to go. But after listening to everybody's remarks and points, I feel like all the candidates have such great ideas. And it's just amazing how far we've come with the students trying to attain leadership roles in the union. So I'm just so happy that I had this opportunity and I had this experience. And I want to take it further. I've been in the board and I've seen the backstage and I know how things work. I just want to be the one who is able to take action about it. So I have my goals. I have the things that I want to accomplish as a president. And to do that, I do need your support. So go ahead and vote for any candidate you feel is what aligns with your goals. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
As we wrap up this debate, I want to take a moment to thank everyone for being here, for listening, and for this engaging, important conversation about the future of our student community. FSU College is more than just academics, but a place to build connections, explore opportunities, create memories, and feel valued in an inclusive and supportive environment. Throughout my journey, I've been deeply involved with the student life, dedicating my time and energy to supporting thousands of students throughout my volunteer work. My commitment to service, leadership, and student success isn't just a promise, but it's already a proven track record. This election is about you, your needs, your experiences, and your vision for a stronger and more connected campus. With your support, I will continue working tirelessly to enhance student well-being, affordability, campus consistency, support resources, dynamic events, inclusivity, and transparency. Let's bring in the energy, strengthen our campus community, and create a student union that truly represents and supports you. Vote for me, Bernardo Mapagal, and together, let's make FSU a place where every student thrives. This is passion, this is community, and this is for you. Thank you so much.
Harpinder?
Hi guys. So, as we all know, health has certain aspects, and health is all what we need at the end of the day to survive, right? So, my main objective would be to focus on each and every one of yours health. It includes certain aspects. It's not just physical, it's mental, it's spiritual, it's emotional as well. So I would try to promote a better health for you, and I would consider it as a success if students are comfortable to talk to me about their concerns and needs, and if they're confident about if I'm going to be helping them and solving them and hearing them. Thank you.
My campaign, The Faces of Fanshawe and the Future for You, is for all students. You deserve a leader that listens, cares, and a leader who is trustworthy. I'm a leader who is passionate about student success, and I believe I'm the best candidate for food insecurity, employment, and mental health that affects students. So I encourage you to vote for Sinead as for the next FSU President. Vote for a candidate that would amplify your voices, a president who will come to you and not be afraid to say, if I don't have the answer to the question, willing to meet you and provide you with answers. So let's bring it home and vote Sinead for FSU President. Thank you again. It was a great opportunity. One love.
I first came to FSU back in 2020, and in that time, I've been able to see it all, both as a student, as an employee, online, and in person. And those experiences are what made me who I am today. And I hope to be able to share those same experiences with all of you. I'm here today with no script. I'm speaking from the heart, and I'm speaking on things that I truly believe in. If you want to be supported and truly feel heard, then use your voice and vote for voice. Thank you to my other candidates for this opportunity, and thank you guys all for being here.
Right. Thank you to all of our candidates. Great job, everyone. Yes, John.
Well, your time's up.
That's it, yeah, that's it. I'm cut off. Thank you to all the students who submitted questions. If you did submit a question and you didn't hear it today, or if you've been submitting questions in the chat or on Instagram, all of these wonderful candidates are here to hear you out anytime. You have full access to all of their platforms, and you can read all their bios at theinterrobang.ca. So I encourage you to keep exploring all of their platforms and learning more about them. And be sure to vote on starting March 2nd.